Hello.
Hi. Go ahead and start getting started. I'll do a check-in first, see who's all here. I have Matt Lashide from the planning department.
Hey, good morning, Ashton.
Good
Morning,
morning.
everybody.
I'm at.
I have it says Darren, and so who am I speaking to?
So this is Darren Myers, the architect, and I'm with Andy Huber, the builder.
Okay.
Get 2 for 1.
And then I have Amanda Steele.
Yes.
And who are you representing today? Oh, are you the owner or
Yes. Yes. Yep.
owner of the property? All right. And then I have, is the Steel TA, who is that, you as well, or who would that be?
That's my husband.
Okay. And if he plans on testifying, I do need him to have his camera on as well as unmuted. And then I have a V Kuhn. You're muted, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry, I'm the neighbor behind.
Okay. And what's your name, ma'am?
It's Virginia Kuhn. So I'm directly behind on Grist Avenue.
Okay, got it. All right, I'll do a brief introduction. It's more for me than it is for you. This is the 6/25/2025 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. My name is Ashton Tucker, and I'll be serving as the zoning hearing examiner for the city of Cincinnati today, presiding over this hearing. This case before us today is case number ZH20250056 regarding the property at 3290 Hardisty. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant or the applicant's agents will first present the applicant's case. The public will then have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. Then the zoning plans examiner will let me know about the staff report regarding this application and anything else that he deems necessary for me to know. If in the event that any party testifies or offers any argument in opposition to an application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond and offer testimony against that. After the applicant has been given that opportunity to rebut any testimony in opposition, I'll have everyone be able to make a closing statement. The final word will be with the applicant. After all presentations have been made, I'll close this hearing, and a decision can be expected within 2 to 3 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the video conferencing technology, I will try to troubleshoot it to the best of my ability. If it is beyond my ability to do, I will continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. All right. Anybody who is providing testimony must be sworn in now. So if you would make sure you're off mute and raise your right hand. Ms. Kuhn, do you plan on testifying? Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
No, I do.
All right. Starting with the applicant side, Mr. Myers or Mr. Huber, whichever one of you would like to go first.
Yeah, I can start.
Mhm.
I'm Darren Myers with Bowerman Myers Architects, 8050 Hossbrook Road in Cincinnati. And The crux of what we're submitting today is the previous house that was there has come down, and we're placing, designed a new house to go in a similar location. Basically where the previous house was. The previous house had a myriad of retaining walls, level changes at the front and the rear, and we're doing something similar with the new house. The biggest thing about the property itself is that it is sloping in several directions. It is sloping from the face of the house down to Hardisty. It is also sloping from the right to the left. It's also sloping from where the house is to the rear as well. So it's kind of like we're on a mini crown of a hill. We're kind of at the high point. So when you place the house there, just through natural excavation of the basement and the sloping of the property in all the different directions creates a cut and fill that does exceed the 8 feet of the hillside district. It's not located in the middle of a slope so that we're creating any instability. It's really on a crown, so to speak. And so what we've done is we've worked with picking the client's wishes and work between the architect, the builder, the landscape architect, the civil engineer to come up with the best possibility to enter the lower level, enter the front of the house up at a higher grade, and be able to enter out the back as well. So there, in our packet and in our drawings, we've taken care to kind of recess the entry into the basement. So there's a mild cut down to the left side of the house to get into the basement so that we're not holding the house up any higher than we need to. And then we've kind of created some retaining at the front in order to bring the driveway over across the front of the house to where the garages are. So there are a few retaining walls in there, but nothing excessive. Overall, it's really odd from our perspective. There is no straight cut of 12 feet or 14 feet or 10 feet even. There's little bits of cuts and little bits of fill that puts us at the amounts that we exceed. And height wise, we're still within the height for the most part, except for one portion of roof that's shown in the drawings that actually exceeds that slightly. Overall, what we've tried to do is stay where the existing house was, work with the kind of terrace landscape that's already there, and try and not create anything that was an extreme cut or fill in any one spot. And I think that's pretty much it. If you have any specific questions in the packet, I can address those individually.
All right, anything from Mr. Huber?
No, I believe Darren has really hit all the main talking points for this specific project. You know, from a builder's perspective, working with the owner and the architect, I feel like it's been a high priority to minimize the impact on neighboring properties by siting the home in the same approximate location as the previous home. I think this does accomplish that very well. The previous home was very dated. The garage was situated in a way that doesn't really work for modern cars or the way families live, and so that we're trying to bring the home on the property up to modern expectations. And I think that Darren's team with the engineers and the geotech, everybody that's been involved, it's been a very thoughtful and sensitive approach to try to minimize the impact on everything around. So that's all I really have to say.
Oh,
Can I add one more thing? I'm sorry, I just thought of something.
no, you're fine.
Okay, so the previous house that was there, the driveway starts off in the bottom corner and it swoops across the front and came up and had a very steep driveway that crossed the front of the house. One of the things, one of the initial reasons we set the house the way we did really had to do to make this driveway not so steep. and be able to cross the front of the house with a more level driveway. So a large part of how we sited the house had to do with just the sheer amount of driveway that was headed in excessive slope up the front of the house, the front of the yard.
Thank you. I'll move over to the planning department. Mr. Lashide, what would you like me to know about your staff report and the position of the planning department?
Sure. So the property is located within the Hillside Overlay District. With that, there are additional zoning requirements. The project complies with the maximum building envelope, including the heights and the setbacks. Zoning relief is necessary for the cumulative excavation and fill, which measures the amount of earth disturbance in height above sea level across the entire scope of the project. And there's a threshold of 8 feet where less than 8 feet can be approved administratively. More than 8 feet requires review via a hearing through this body. And what we look at is does the project meet the intent of the requirements? And is the project designed to step with the hillside so that although there may be earth disturbance across the entire site, that there be no single large cut, no large amount of fill, no large retaining walls, which the applicant correctly stated that there are not. Although we measure all the way from where the driveway is being regraded at the front to the retaining walls at the back, and none of these individual excavations or fill are great in size. They all generally follow the existing topography, and the home is located to follow the location of the current house that's historically been there. So there's not really going to be much of an adverse impact and no substantial alteration to the hillside. Project complies with the hillside development standards and staff recommends approval.
Okay. All right. What I'll do now is I'll move on to the closing portions. My understanding is Ms. Steele nor Ms. Kuhn intend to testify this morning. So moving into closing remarks, anything to close us out, Mr. Lashide?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Okay. Anything to close us out, Mr. Myers or Mr. Huber?
No, not at this time.
No.
Okay. All right, well, based off of what I've heard and the staff report, I do intend to approve this. However, it does have to be written in a formal decision. So you can expect that formal decision within 2 to 3 weeks, okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your testimony today and for your attention here.
Thanks. Bye.